This is the OTB Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We've just completed the holiday weekend, so we've got a lot of great racing to bring to you. We'll head back to Thanksgiving Day, opening day at the fairgrounds, and the $60,000 Thanksgiving handicap for older sprinters.
They're in the gate. Away and running in the Thanksgiving handicap to a level start. Mambo Galliano was just best at the break, but here's the speed of Foreign Production. Sock is right there in Normandy Shore. Foreign Production in front for Carlos Gonzalez. So the favorite led after the first furlong and a half. Foreign Production right over toward that rail to lead Normandy Shore. Mambo Galliano, Sock and the orange cap in the thick of it too. On the outside is Southern Style, who's in the 5 path as they go into the far turn. Cool Bullet is in behind horses. Strike While It's Hot, and Sweet Southern Moon is last in back of an opening quarter for Foreign Production in 21 and 4, just under 3 furlongs to go. Foreign Production in front of, on the outside, Southern Style is right there coming toward the quarter pole. Cool Bullet now spots up. Mambo Galliano tucked in toward the rail as Normandy Shore gives way. Far outside is Sweet Southern Moon, Sock, and farther back in the field is Strike While It's Hot is last in the final furlong and a half. Mambo Galliano grapples and battles. Foreign Production on the outside. Cool Bullet. Far outside is Sweet Southern Moon. Inside the final 16th, here's Mambo Galliano. James Graham for Louis Roussel III in the Thanksgiving handicap in New Orleans. Mambo Galliano going away. Sweet Southern Moon might have just edged out Cool Bullet for second. Strike While It's Hot was fourth, and the time was 1:09.2.
Mambo Galliano picks up the victory by 4 lengths off the layoff. Hadn't seen racing action since Arlington Park in early August. In fact, was freshened up for this spot. He's now 2 for 4 on dirt. Kind of an interesting horse, having spent the better part of his career in the Midwest at Arlington Park. Hasn't had a chance to go that often on the dirt surface. But here gets the victory. It might be an interesting horse to follow over the winter at the fairgrounds. He scores over Sweet Southern Moon with Cool Bullet back in third. The winner, Mambo Galliano, is a chestnut gelded son of Black Mambo from Oh By Gosh, By Golly, by Galapiat. Bred in Florida by Paula Saunders, owned by Louis Roussel, and trained by the owner, ridden to victory by James Graham. Mambo Galliano covers the 6 furlongs in 109.56. We'll head to Churchill Downs now. Big weekend of racing there, going back to Thursday. $150,000 Grade 2 Falls City for fillies and mares.
And they're off in the Falls City handicap. To the outside, High Quail moves on and gets the early lead, giving chase is Striking Dancer, and then on the outside, Distinctive Dixie was not alertly away, but she's shown good early pace, and now she's riding shotgun to the outside of High Quail as they go into the clubhouse turn. Dundalk Dust has been settled at the back of the field, making the turn on towards the final 7/8, and it's High Quail who has the lead. Distinctive Dixie is racing in second. To the inside, Third Dawn is in third through a 25-second flat opening quarter mile. Ravi's Song to the outside is racing in fourth. Striking Dancer is in fifth, and Dundalk Dust at the back of the field. They have 3/4 of a mile ahead of them, and it's High Quail who takes them towards halfway in the 95th running of the Falls City handicap in the hands of Garrett Gomez. She leads now by a length and a tail to Distinctive Dixie and Robbie Alvarado in second. 2.5 lengths away, Third Dawn is racing in third position, and then on the outside is Ravi's Song just in fourth. On the inside, Striking Dancer, and Dundalk Dust still at the back of the field and ridden along now by Sean Bridgmahan. Inside the final half mile they go, the first half in 49 and 1, and it's High Quail who's out in front now by a length and a half. Distinctive Dixie is in second. Third Dawn is ridden in third. Ridden to the inside, Striking Dancer in fourth. Ravi's Song, and then at the back of the field, Dundalk Dust tries to close, but it's still High Quail out in front with just over 1/4 mile to go in the Falls City handicap. It is High Quail who's out in front. Distinctive Dixie now driven here on the outside the grey. Ravi's Song is coming on late. It's High Quail out in front. Ravi's Song now draws up alongside, but High Quail has kicked again. High Quail is finding more down the outside. Dundalk Dust Dundalk Dust has come from last to first. High Quail now back to second and racing up towards the line. It is Dundalk Dust who's going to win the Fall City Handicap for Sean Bridgmahan and trainer Chris Block. High Quail was game in defeat for second. Striking Dancer in third. Ravi's Song was fourth.
Dundalk Dust, another horse that has spent the better portion of her career running in Chicago and thus on the synthetic rather than on the dirt. She's now 2 for 2 on the dirt, having won a state-bred stake at Hawthorne last time out, 5 for 7 lifetime. Pretty nice career mark for this filly. She picks up the win over High Quail, with Striking Dancer getting off to a stumbling start to complete the order of the top 3. The winner, Dundalk Dust, is a dark bay or brown filly, a daughter of military from Plus Bow by Bow Genius. Bred in Illinois by Judy Doris and owned by Dundalk 5 Limited, trained by Chris Block and ridden to victory by Sean Bridgmahan. Dundalk Dust covers the 9 in 153.37. We'll head right back to Churchill Downs. The Saturday Stakes feature the Clark Handicap.
The winners of 63 races between them in the gate. And they're off in the Clark Handicap. Regal Ransom flashes early speed towards the outside, together with on the outside Duke of Mischief, and Demarcation is between horses. Dubious Miss towards the inside. Successful Dan is taking a fierce hold in the early stages, racing in 5th position, taken off heels. Then Reading Colliery on the outside is Stately Victor next. He is 4 wide going into the turn. Then to the inside is Apart, followed by Giant Oak inside the final 7/8 of a mile. Brass Hat is at the back of the field, together with Win Willie, the first quarter in 24 and 3. And down the back stretch of Churchill Downs they go, and it's Regal Ransom who's shredding his stuff, and he's clear by 2.5 lengths. Duke of Mischief is racing in second, and then Dubious Miss and Demarcation towards the outside in 3rd and 4th. Reading Colliery is racing in 5th. Successful Dan still extending the rider's arms in next position. Followed on the inside by Apart. They're through halfway in the 136th running of the Clark Handicap, and it's Regal Ransom who still has the lead. Duke of Mischief is racing in second. Dubious Miss the rail in third. Demarcation is in 4th. Reading Colliery now in 5th. Successful Dan still won't settle. He's still pulling very hard towards the inside. Apart now comes under a ride. Giant Oak angles to the outside. Win Willie is next, followed by Brass Hat and Stately Victor very deep out on the track. They come to the top of the lane in the Clark Handicap. Regal Ransom taken on by Duke of Mischief. Here's Demarcation and Dubious Miss to the outside. Successful Dan is looking for racing room. Demarcation went right across rivals. Badly hampered Dubious Miss. Now Successful Dan is bursting through on the outside. Giant Oak. It's Successful Dan and Giant Oak. These two duel inside the 16th and racing to the line. Successful Dan on the inside. Giant Oak on the outside. Successful Dan and Giant Oak in a head-bobbing, thrilling finish to the Clark Handicap, followed by Demarcation, Reading Colliery and Win Willie.
Bit of a demolition derby when they turned for home in a full field. A Successful Dan, who was extremely rank in the early going, just did not seem to want to settle in at all for Julian Leperoux. Came out rather aggressively into Reading Colliery, while those two were in the second tier of horses, joined by Giant Oak. The two carried them down to the stretch, and it was in fact Successful Dan about a head in front. Giant Oak second. It was 4 lengths back to Reading Colliery. There was in fact a steward's inquiry and a claim of foul, and it did result in Giant Oak being placed on top, with Successful Dan moved back down to 3rd behind Reading Colliery, with whom he had interfered. There was also another interference in back a little bit further in the pack, as Demarcation was disqualified from 4th to 11th. The winner, Giant Oak, cutting back in distance from the 1 3/4 Breeders' Cup Marathon, where he was the lukewarm favorite. Here goes off at 11-1 and scores that elusive Grade 1 victory at last. He is a 4-year-old chestnut son of Giant's Causeway from Crafty Oak by Crafty Prospector, bred in Illinois by the Virginia H. Terra Trust and owned by the breeder, trained by Chris Block and ridden to victory by Sean Bridgmahan. Giant Oak covers the 1 and a furlong in 150.82. We'll head right back to Churchill Downs now. A pair of Saturday Stakes on their Stars of Tomorrow card. Racing action exclusively for the 2-year-olds. We'll start things out with fillies in the Grade 2 Goldenrod.
They're in the gate. And they're off in the golden rod. Sweet Deal to Win broke awkwardly and slowly. Grand Lioness towards the outside is sent on and gets the early lead. Miss You Like Crazy to the rail in a very close second. Catman Blue is in third. And then there's a break of a couple of lengths to Aid racing in fourth. And she just drifted out off the rail, racing in fourth position around the turn and going inside the final 7/8. Suave Warfare on that one's outside. Then to the inside, missed the point. And having blown the beginning, Sweet Deal to Win is at the back of the field. 24-1 the opening quarter mile as they head now down the Churchill Downs back stretch. And the leader is Grand Lioness by a clear 2.5 lengths. Miss You Like Crazy is racing in second. Catman Blue is in third. Aid is really taking a strong hold now between horses. She's lit up going down the back stretch. Then towards the inside is Missed the Point. Towards the outside, Suave Warfare, and still at the back of the field, Sweet Deal to Win. Just over half a mile to go in the 67th Golden Rod, and the leader is Grand Lioness and Sean Bridgemahan. Towards that one's outside, Miss You Like Crazy now applies big pressure. Catman Blue 3 wide as they go into the turn with 3/8 to go. To the inside is Missed the Point. Aid is now being ridden along to try and close. Then Suave Warfare as they now race on towards the final 2.5 furlongs. Miss You Like Crazy has taken the lead. Grand Lioness towards the inside is hanging tough. Here is Catman Blue down the outside, sent on now by Julien Leperoux. Catman Blue surges to the lead. Miss You Like Crazy is back in second. Suave Warfare staying on. Then Aid, then Grand Lioness. But it is a one-horse procession down inside the final 16th. The Golden Rod of 2010 emphatically goes to Catman Blue. Miss You Like Crazy was second. Suave Warfare was third. Aid was fourth.
Catman Blue, one of the few horses this weekend who came back off of a Breeders' Cup performance to really run a very good race. This was only her second try on dirt. She had been running on the turf primarily. In fact, was a good third with a rough trip in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf last time out. Her only prior start on the dirt was her career debut, and she was 8th in a 4.5 furlong dash right here at Churchill Downs. Obviously, the bettors who made her the favorite figured she was still the class of the field, and she was, as she runs away and hides over Missy You Like Crazy, with Suave Warfare completing the order of the top 3. Catman Blue is a 2-year-old daughter of Bluegrass Cat from Abigold by Devil's Bag, bred in Kentucky by 5D Thoroughbreds Limited and owned by the 5D Thoroughbreds and Wind River Stable, trained by Ken McPeak, who now has a filly that obviously has shown she could cross over from turf onto dirt. Ridden to victory by Julien Leperoux, Catman Blue covers the mile in the 16th at 144.48. More 2-year-olds in action next at Churchill Downs in the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes.
The Stanwell. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Kentucky Jockey Club. Astrology broke very sharply on the inside. Cane Garden Bay is right up there, so too Pride of the Chapter and Santiva. A 4-way go into the clubhouse turn, and against the rail it is Pride of the Chapter who has now taken the lead. Santiva is racing in second. 3 wide Astrology is in third position. 7/8 to go. Towards the inside, Cane Garden Bay is racing in 4th place. Then towards the outside, Major Gain, Enable, and Outrun at the back of the field. Halo's Thunder as they go inside the final 3/4 of a mile. 24-1 was the opening quarter split, and it's Pride of the Chapter and Rosemary Hommeister Jr. who take them towards halfway in the 84th running of the Kentucky Jockey Club. The lead is a length and a tail. Santiva is in second, still 3 wide down the back stretch is the favourite Astrology, followed then by Major Gain towards the outside of Cane Garden Bay. A break then of a length and a half to Enable, and still nothing at the back of the pack from Halo's Thunder through a half of 49 seconds flat. Pride of the Chapter still clings on to the lead. Santiva is there, and Santiva now begins to make a move as they approach the 3/8 to the outside Astrology. These are then being followed just a length and a half away by Cane Garden Bay on the inside of Major Gain, who has every chance. Enable then looks for a seam towards the inside, but got no run as bobbling on the turn was Pride of the Chapter, and now it is Santiva who goes for home. Major Gain cuts to the inside rail. Astrology now set down for the drive on the outside. A 3-way go down towards the final furlong they dash. Major Gain squeezed up against the rail. Santiva wanders under pressure. Astrology to the outside. Still 3 of them look together. It is now Santiva who surges to lead. Santiva wins the Kentucky Jockey Club. Tight second. Major gain on the inside of Astrology. Late run for fourth. Halo's Thunder.
Santiva picks up the victory. A nice effort by this horse. Was a maiden going in, although, to his credit, he was a Grade 1 stakes-placed maiden, having run second in the Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland in his previous start. This was also the horse that had run a decent third behind Wine Police, who was very well regarded up here at Saratoga, as well as Soldat, who came out of that race to score his maiden victory in Stakes Company up here at Saratoga on the turf before running a big effort in a stake downstate and then in the Breeders' Cup. So Santiva had obviously faced some pretty nice horses, picks up the head victory over the odds-on favorite Astrology, who had won the prep race for this at the beginning of the meeting. Major Gain completes the top three. The winner, Santiva, another son of Giants Causeway. This one out of Slide by Smartin, was bred in Kentucky by Paget Bloodstock and is owned by Tom R. Walters. Trained by Eddie Keneally and ridden to victory by Sean Bridgemahan, who had a great weekend of racing at Churchill Downs. Santiva covers the mile in a 16th and 145.31. We'll head north of the border next. We'll head to Woodbine for the Sunday Stakes feature, 2-year-olds in action in the display.
They're off in the display stakes. And Sardonicus broke on top. To the inside is Alphabetter, and to the outside Moonshine Mullen. And Bluegrass Dreamer and Diamonds Diplomat. Bears Futures taken in hand. To the inside is Tiz Breast, and trailing early is Silver Leo. And they're running through the first turn under 7/8 to go. And it's this long shot Sardonicus and Corey Fraser to set the pace. Sardonicus is riding to 3 lengths. Tugging hard in second is Moonshine Mullen. Alphabetter down to the inside, third, and a Diamonds Diplomat is fourth. Then we have Tiz Breast down at the rail in fifth position, and 5.5 lengths off the lead. Bears Future just to the outside of Tiz Breast. Second to last is Bluegrass Dreamer. Silver Leo's out in the center of the racetrack, and it's Sardonicus through an opening half mile. In 49 seconds flat, and making a move toward the inside now is Tiz Breast, and between horses this long shot Alphabetter, and it's those three as they run into the turn. Sardonicus still there by a head. Down to the inside is Tiz Breast. Poised to take a shot at the leaders is Moonshine Mullen and Alphabetter. Another long shot in here is Hanging Tough, and Tiz Breast has come away with the lead at the quarter pole. And it's Tiz Breast as they straighten away in the display. Tiz Breast has kicked away by 3 lengths down the center of the racetrack. Moonshine Mullen for Eureka Rosa da Silva, but it's Tiz Breast and Patrick Husbands as they come to the last 16th of a mile. Tiz Breast blew them away. A rock-solid performance by Tiz Breast to win the display. Moonshine Mullen was second, Silver Leo last to third, Bears Future was fourth.
Tiz Blessed, you may remember him from his maiden victory up here at Saratoga, one of an army of nice 2-year-olds sent out by Chad Brown to win early in their career. This one was one of them. After that effort, he was sent down to Monmouth, for the Garden State Stakes. He finished fourth that day with a little bit of traffic trouble. Here he sits just off the pace in the early going, got a perfect stalking position under Pat Husbands, and drew clear to win by 5.5 lengths over Moonshine Mullen, with Silver Leo back in third as the favorite Bears Future, who had run some pretty solid races up in Canada earlier this year, tailing off a little bit to finish fourth. The winner, Tiz Blessed, is a 2-year-old son of Tiz Now from Starboard Stinger by Hennessy, bred in Kentucky by Decker's Thoroughbred Horse Farm and Steeple Hill Farm, owned by Gary and Mary West Stables and trained by Chad Brown, ridden to victory by Pat Husbands. Tiz Blessed covers the mile in a 16th and 144.23. We'll head out to the West Coast now. First, before we head to Southern California, we'll make a stop at Golden Gate Fields, where on Saturday the stakes feature was the Grade 3 All-American for 3 and up.
Racing. Our Nautique, one of the first away. His white blinkers show in the front now from Slew the Man, who sails across from the outside gate. Saratoga Buddha's handily positioned in the bright lime colours, with Interpretation fourth, Autism Awareness fifth, 5 off the front. Then comes Cigar Man from Hot Charco. Masoni 3 wide at the tail of the field. Our Nautique leads them out of the stretch by a length to Slew the Man around Saratoga Boot. Interpretation. Then comes Autism Awareness, 4.5 off the pace from Cigar Man. Masoni 3 wide, and at the rear is Hot Charco, and 7 or 8 lengths would cover the field. Our Nautique doing it as he always loves to. Out up the front by 2 lengths to Slew the Man as they race to the back stretch. 1.5 lengths to Saratoga Boot, and a similar margin Autism Awareness covering Interpretation. Masoni still out 3 wide, 7 lengths off the pace. Cigar Man towards his inside, and Hot Charco is the tail ender. They race towards the half-mile pole in the All-American. Our Nautique is being pressured now by Slew the Man, and things heat up mid-race. Saratoga Boot 2.5 lengths off them, followed by Autism Awareness. Then Interpretation, Cigar Man between runners, Masoni 3 wide every step of the way, Hot Charco last of all, 5/16 left to run. It's Our Nautique, Slew the Man, 2.5 lengths clear of Saratoga Boot, and again to Autism Awareness. Cigar Man making nice headway on the inside, takes 4th position. Hot Charco follows him into the race. Masoni has covered extra ground, he's under the whip out wide. Into the stretch, Slew the Man, Our Nautique clear by 3 lengths to Saratoga Boot. Hot Charco's coming home well, then Cigar Man and Masoni. Our Nautique with a strong kick on the inside. Hot Charco comes at him. Cigar Man late on the scene. It's Hot Charco hitting the lead, tackled by Cigar Man, who got there in the last stride. Cigar Man and nose Hot Charco. Third home in the race, Our Nautique, followed by Slew the Man. Then comes Masoni ahead of Saratoga Boot, Interpretation, and Autism Awareness.
Cigar Man picks up the victory. A nice effort by this horse, who had run some pretty solid races downstate in Southern California against the likes of Rail Trip and Awesome Gem and others in some of their major stakes. Last time out was 5th in a stake at the Fairplex on traditional dirt. Here moves on to the synthetic and scores the victory by a game head over fellow rallier Hot Charco, with Our Nautique showing the way early and settling for 3rd. Cigar Man is a dark bay or brown gelded son of Drew Man from Foxy's Last Key by Big Bold Sifa. Bred in Florida by Charles Spence, owned by Ron Manzani and Russell Sarno, trained by Vladimir Sarin and ridden to victory by Juan Hernandez. Cigar Man covers the 9 in 149.78. We'll pause for a brief message, and when we return, we will head right back out to California, Southern California, some great racing this weekend at Hollywood. Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We will continue now in Southern California, Hollywood Park, on Thanksgiving Day, hosting older sprinters in the Vernon Underwood.
They're set. They're off. Square Deal broke best. Cost of Freedom was a bit slow to begin, but he's on the move now, and there he goes. Cost of Freedom takes over the lead. Easy's Gentleman now second. Square Deal after that. Sharp Start is third. Gato Go Win is next, then Scenic Blast, and the trailer is Canonize. California bred Cost of Freedom up the backstretch, a length and a quarter in front of both Easy's Gentleman and Square Deal, together second and third. Those three have sprinted 4 lengths clear of Gato Go Win. The Australian Scenic Blast has 8 lengths to make up, and Canonize is 9 lengths behind as they round the far turn. In the 30th, Vernon O. Underwood Stakes, and Cost of Freedom is strutting his stuff now. Cost of Freedom to the quarter pole with a solid 2-length advantage over Square Deal and Easy's Gentleman. Canonize moves through at the rail. He's just taken 4th, but he's 5 lengths behind. Then Gatto Go Win and Scenic Blast. Cost of Freedom past mid-stretch, and now he's opened up a big lead. Cost of Freedom is 4 lengths in front. Gatto Go Win comes after him. Scenic Blast in the center, but Cost of Freedom inside the final 16. Still leads by 3. Gatto Go Win cannot catch Cost of Freedom. The 30th Vernon O. Underwood Stakes goes to the California bred Cost of Freedom. He beat Gatto Go Win by 2 lengths. Close for third between Scenic Blast and Canonize.
Cost of Freedom picks up the victory. This is a horse that's been a very serious West Coast sprinter for a couple of years. He won the Cal Cup Sprint last time out. He's 10 for 20 lifetime, goes to the front and never looks back as the even money favorite over Gatto Go Win, the longest shot on the board, who rallied into second with Scenic Blast back in third. The winner, Cost of Freedom, is a dark bay or brown gelded son of C's Tizzy from Freedom Dance by Moscow Ballet. Bred in California by Harris Farms and owned by Gary and Cecil Barber, trained by John Sadler and ridden to victory by Joe Talamo. Cost of Freedom covers the 6 in 108.46. Next up, the Friday Stakes feature, 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares going a flat mile in the Matriarch.
They're at the post. They're off. Westwood Pride, a hard scent Camille C, and Wasted Tears. These 3 very fast into stride. Wasted Tears is a neck in front early. Then comes Gypsy's Warning and Special Duty, followed by Lily Fapoots, and the early trailer is Go Forth North. Wasted Tears is quicker than the Calbred speedster Camille C, and so Rajiv Mirage and Wasted Tears will set the pace in the Matriarch. They're a length and a half in front of Camille C, who concedes the lead and races second. Westwood Pride is placed third by Patrick Valenzuela, and she's 3 off the lead. Lily Fapoots and Gypsy's Warning have 4 lengths to make up. Special Duty is second to last, and she is 5 lengths behind, and Go Forth North just inside of the favorite, midway on the backstretch in the 29th Matriarch, and Wasted Tears aggressive past the half-mile pole. She takes them there a length and a quarter in front of Camille C in second. Lily Fapoots joins Westwood Pride. They're together third and fourth and less than 3 from the front. Gypsy's Warning in the red cap has 4 lengths to make up. Go Forth North is second to last, and the trailer is Special Duty, and she is 8 lengths behind Wasted Tears as they run past the quarter pole. Wasted Tears is the leader, 3/4 of a length from Camille C in second. Westwood Pride 3 deep, less than 2 from the front. Gypsy's Warning, Lily Fapoots at the rail, and Camille C between horses engages Wasted Tears. To the outside goes Gypsy's Warning, who is closing with every stride. Here comes Gypsy's Warning in Rosario. Wasted Tears has lost the lead in the Matriarch. To the winner, Gypsy's Warning! Gypsy's Warning wins the 29th Matriarch. She won by 2 over Wasted Tears. Go Forth North finished third.
Gypsy's Warning picks up the victory. A nice effort from off the pace. She sat very nicely in a stalking position for Joel Rosario before pouncing to win at a mile or by a length and a quarter. Obviously handling the mile very well, and Graham Motion, who has handled this filly this year since her arrival in the United States, obviously is very pleased with his prospects for next year, as she does look like a very interesting mare off of 2/3 in Group 1 company, Grade 1 company rather, here in the States, the Yellow Ribbon and the Beverly D. It looks like the flat mile or so is probably right about the best distance for her. Wasted Tears, another horse that I really enjoyed following this year, perhaps tailing off a little bit towards the end of the season, holds on for second as Go Forth North completes the top 3. The winner, Gypsy's Warning, is a bay mare, a daughter of Mogak, from Gypsy Queen by Royal Chalice, bred in South Africa by the Rathmore stud, owned by Team Valor International and Green Lantern Stable, trained by Graham Motion, ridden to victory by Joel Rosario. Gypsy's Warning covers the mile in 134.01. Next up, 2-year-olds on the turf in Saturday afternoon's running of the Grade 3 Generous will join the Generous in progress.
They pass the half-mile pole and head into the far turn in the 28th Generous Stakes. Comet to the top, trying to make it 4 wins in a row, 3/4 of a length in front of Divine Child, who continues to pester the favorite in second. Stretch runners are coming. Mazaran and Gab Power within 4 of the front. Then comes Surrey Star to the outside. Boxer de Roux. Boxer de Roux draws within 5 of the lead. Comet to the top has had enough of Divine Child. He settles into the lane with a 3.5 length advantage. Boxer de Roux in the center, but Comet to the top comes to the final 16th, and he's built up a huge lead. Comet to the top is running them right off their feet in the Generous Stakes. On the inside, Surrey Star, Boxer de Roux, Comet to the top. 4 in a row, and now he's a graded stakes winner. Comet at the top wins the 28th Generous Stakes. Maybe moment of weakness to split horses for second. He's in a photo with Surrey Star.
Comet to the top, one of the more experienced 2-year-olds in the race. In fact, this guy's been very busy since the Del Mar Futurity, which was run in mid-September. This guy has already run 4 times and won them all. Kind of an interesting horse. Had been running on the synthetic, broke his maiden on the synthetic, but now moving on to the turf and handling it very nicely, winning by a length and 3/4 over Moment of Weakness with Surrey Star back in third. The winner, Comet to the top, is a bay gelding, a 2-year-old son of Buona Charlie from Maggie's Storm by Stormy Atlantic. Bred in Florida by Richard and Linda Thompson, owned by Gary Barber, Roger Birnbaum, and Kevin Tuhira. Trained by Peter Miller and ridden to victory by Corey Nakatani. Comet to the top covers the mile on the turf in 1:34.77. Next up, older horses on the turf at a mile and a 16th in the Citation.
They're off. Perfect start. Prowdinsky and Colgan's Chip, Rye Hill Dreamer, and Enriched. These 4 are fast. Now Prowdinsky takes back, and he'll sit 4th early. Then comes Bruce's Dream, Liberian Freighter, and Violin Sacré, followed by Victor's Cry and Meteor, and the early trailer is Court Vision. Colgan's Chip will set the pace to the backstretch from Enriched in second. Colgan's Chip now tries to slow it down. He's a length and a quarter in front of Enriched in second. Rye Hill Dreamer is tucked in at the rail in third. He's less than 2 from the front. Prowdinsky will do his running from 4th, and he's 4 lengths behind. Bruce's Dream is a length behind him. He's at the gray at the rail in 5th and 4.5 lengths off the lead. Liberian Freighter just outside of him. Meteor and Violon Sacré have 7 lengths to make up. Victor's Cry is 9 behind, and if Court Vision wins the 34th Citation Handicap, he'll make up 13 lengths in 4 furlongs. They head into the far turn. Colgan's Chip and Enriched still 1-2. Colgan's Chip a half length in front of Enriched in second. Rye Hill Dreamer is third, and now he's 3 from the front. Prowdinsky and Bruce's Dream bracket him. So does Liberian Freighter. Meteor is next. Violon Sacré is next. He is 6 from the lead. Victor's Cry. Court Vision is still 12 lengths behind at the top of the stretch in the 34th Citation, and Enriched and Colgan's Chip are 1-2. Prowdinsky, Rye Hill Dreamer between horses. Bruce's Dream tries to find a way through, and he had to check from the middle of the track. Here comes Prowdinsky, and here comes Meteor, absolutely wide open. Victor's Cry suddenly emerges, and here's Victor's Cry to split them all and run away in the Citation. Wow, what a stretch run from Victor's Cry. He won by 2.5. There are 4 noses on the wire for second.
Victor's Cry, a horse that it looked like he'd kind of tailed off a little bit. His last really sharp performance was the Eddie Reed over the summer. Earlier in the year, he did win the Shoemaker Mile over Carillion, but he had run a couple of clunkers in the interim, and last time out, the Oak Tree Mile, not a particularly strong renewal of that race. He was up the track, finishing 5th, but here he turns the tables to win by a length and 3/4 over Prowdinsky with another long shot. Meteor back in the 3rd spot. The top 3, 11, 15, and 28-1 is Court Vision, the favorite in the field, rallies from well back after a bobbling break to finish 4th. The winner, Victor's Cry, is a dark bay or brown ridgeling, son of Street Cry from Short Time by Clever Trick. Bred in Virginia by Legacy Farm and owned by Equilette Stable, trained by Owen Hardy and ridden to victory by Victor Espinoza, Victor's Cry covers the mile in a 16th and 139.86. Next up, Sunday's co-featured Miesk for 2-year-old fillies will join the Miesk in progress.
19th Miex Stakes as they go into the far turn. California Nectar has the lead. Wave of applause is outside of Holiday for Kitten. Those two right together, second and third. Never Said I Was Sweet is at the rail. She's fourth and only 2 off the lead. Then Cloney Last just outside of her. Lucky Trippy and Katie's Kitten, and they run to the top of the stretch, and here comes Holiday for Kitten. Holiday for Kitten, the new leader at the top of the stretch, and she gets away a length in front of California Nectar. Never Said I Was Sweet is after her. Holiday for Kitten's got to have to get a final 16th. Never Said I Was Sweet trying to gun her down. Holiday for Kitten. Never Said I Was Sweet on the attack. Holiday for Kitten. Never Said I Was Sweet. The 19th Mies Stakes goes to Never Said I Was Sweet. She ran down Holiday for Kitten, close for third between Cloney Lass and California Nectar.
Never Said I Was Sweet picking up the score here. Having broken her maiden last time out, she was transferred into the barn of Jerry Hollendorfer. Picks up her first stake right off the maiden victory as she picks up the win over 4-1 shot Holiday for Kitten with favored Cloney Lass back in third. The winner, Never Said I Was Sweet, is a dark bay or brown daughter of Euro Silver from Surging Storm by Storm Creek. Bred in Maryland by Alan S. Klein Revocable Trust and owned by the Red Oak Stable, trained by Jerry Hollendorfer and ridden to victory by Rafael Bejarano, Never Said I Was Sweet covers the mile in 1:35.88. We'll wrap things up at Hollywood Park with the 1.25 mile Grade 1 Hollywood Derby on the turf.
They're off. Sebastian Flight was pinched back just slightly at the start. Blue Panis and Lion Story show speed to the outside. Fantastic Pick. Citrus Kid is at the rail. Then comes Jerzino and Juniper Pass, followed by Sebastian Flight, and the early trailer is Hamish High. It will be Blue Panis with 1 lap to go. He leads by 2 lengths from Citrus Kid in second. Lion Story, headstrong. He throws his head in the air again, and he's third at the rail for Mike Smith and 3.5 lengths off the lead. Fantastic Pick and Sebastian Flight are 4 from the front. Then comes Juniper Pass. He's got 6 lengths to make up. Jerzino is second to last with 8 to make up, and the trailer is Hamish High as they turn into the backstretch in the 69th Hollywood Derby, and Blue Panis is the leader. It is Blue Panis, 1.5 lengths in front of Citrus Kid in second. Lion Story has settled down a bit for Mike Smith, but he's still headstrong, 3 wide in third and 2.5 lengths off the lead. Lion Story has left the rail open for Fantastic Pick, who moves through, and now he's a joint third. Then comes Juniper Pass, 5th in the red with 6 lengths to make up. Sebastian Flight's a length behind him, 7 lengths behind with a half mile to go in the Derby. Jerzino is 7.5 off the lead, and Hamish High is the trailer. Blue Panis 3 furlongs from the wire and a length in front of Citrus Kid in second. Fantastic Pick at the rail moves up. Fantastic Pick's only 1.25 lengths off the lead. Then comes Juniper Pass to the outside. Jerzino. Sebastian Flight is 4 from the front. Lion Story has dropped out. He's passed by Hamish High. Top of the stretch. Blue Panis is the leader. He's got a host of challengers. Fantastic Pick tries to squeeze through at the rail. Citrus Kid between horses. Sebastian Flight, and Sebastian Flight's trying to muscle through an impossible spot. Meanwhile, here comes Juniper Pass and Hamish High. Sebastian Flight, Hamish High in the center. Hamish High, Sebastian Flight, Hamish High! The 69th Hollywood Derby goes to Garrett Gomez and Hamish High. He beat a troubled Sebastian Flight. It is close for third, Juniper Pass and Citrus Kid.
Hamish High, as he picks up the victory from well back off the pace. Hamish High had run 5th in the Oak Tree Derby in his prior start, but before that had run some pretty nice races and is now 5 for 10 lifetime. So it's a pretty capable horse. Obviously threw in a little bit of a clunker last time against several of these runners. Sebastian Flight, the favorite, did have a little bit of a tricky start, got squeezed in a little bit, and did have a little bit of trouble in the early going. He was tugging a little bit hard against Joel Rosario, not wanting to settle in. He ran a very big race to finish second. It was only a head back to Juniper Pass in the third spot, a very close finish. The winner, Hamish High, is a dark bay or brown son of Ecton Park from Tifonica by Equalize, bred in Kentucky by William L. Curran, owned by Zvika Aiken, Richard Franco, Cy Goldstein, and Art Sherman, trained by Art Sherman and ridden to victory by Garrett Gomez. Hamish High covers the 1.25 miles on the turf in 2:01.20. We will pause now for one more brief message. When we return, we'll be heading back home to New York in a great weekend's worth of racing at Aqueduct.
This portion of the program brought to you by Capital Bets. For more information, go to capitalotb.com.
Catch the excitement with Capital OTB online. It's now easier than ever with internet wagering at capitalotb.com. Wager online and get track odds, online contests, membership specials, and it's secure and fan-friendly. Whether it's a big stakes day like the Kentucky Derby, Belmont Stakes, Travers Stakes, Breeders' Cup, or just a great day of racing, wagering online at capitalotb.com is always simple and easy. Sign up today at capitalotb.com because your chances are better with Capital OTB.
Welcome back to Horses and Courses. We will continue now at the Big A. We'll head back to Thursday as they kick off their Holiday Fest weekend of stakes. And on that day, their new tradition, I suppose, is the Fall High Weight Handicap, a Grade 3 for older horses, sprinting 6 furlongs. We do want to let you know there is a spill at the top of the stretch. It is rather ugly to see, but fortunately, everyone came out of it okay.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Wildcat Frankie and Go-Go Shoot racing for the lead together. Wall Street Wonder not far behind in third. Jack on the Rocks is fourth on the outside. Endless Circle has come out running in fifth, followed by Todd Got Even sixth. Mesa Sunrise was steady just a bit after the break, is second to last early on, and Mitigation is the last of all. Wildcat Frankie rattles off a 21-4 opening quarter mile. And Go-Go Shoot right pressing the hot pace there on the outside. Jack on the Rocks not far behind his third. Wall Street Runner is under a ride under the whip already. He's fourth. Here's Endless Circle is now beginning to move, now fifth on the outside. Mesa Sunrise maneuvered to the far outside sixth as the field turns for home off a 44-4 half mile. Wildcat Frankie still there. Oh, Go-Go Shoot went down. Go-Go Shoot went down in mid-stretch. The horse is up and walking away from that stumble there. Not so for Johnny Velasquez. In the meantime, here comes Endless Circle to win the Fall Highway. Marred by a spill in mid-stretch. Endless Circle is first. Jack on the Rocks was second. Looked like Wildcat Frankie held on for third, and Mesa Sunrise was fourth.
Endless Circle picks up the win. In fact, it looked like he was just going to run away and hide from this field, although it was hard to say what might have happened had Go-Go Shoot not lost his footing momentarily at the top of the stretch. As I said, it was a rather ugly spill. Fortunately, everyone was okay. Go-Go Shoot and John Velasquez both came out of it just fine. Apparently just stumbled after changing his leads, did Go-Go Shoot. So fortunately, everyone okay as a result. Endless Circle gets clear sailing through the stretch, wins off by 2 over a game Jack on the Rocks, who made a nice move from off the pace while wide. Wildcat Frankie, involved in that pretty brisk pace, holds on for third. The winner, Endless Circle, a very sharp $14,000 claim earlier this year. Was third off the layoff, disappointed last time out in the Hudson Handicap, but it picked up some pretty good credentials in the interim for his connections, now 5 for 7 since the claim. Endless Circle is a dark bay or brown son of Precise End from Inside Circle by Pentelicus. Bred in New York by Says Who Thoroughbreds, owned by Vincent Scuderi and James Riccio. Trained by Rudy Rodriguez and ridden to victory by Edgar Prado, Endless Circle covers the 6 in 109.79. Next up, we'll head back to Friday and the Grade 2 Top Flight for fillies and mares at a mile.
And they're off. A good start for Qualia, who's going out for the early lead. Way with Words is racing in second. Funny Moon's on the outside in third with Our Christie alongside. Then Sarah Louise in fifth in the early going, and Spacey Tracy is sixth. They've crossed over to the main track now, and Qualia leads by a little more than a length over Funny Moon and Our Christie. Way with Words down on the inside in fourth. Spacey Tracy alongside Sarah Louise, the defending champion in the Top Flight, is the trailer. The quarter went in 23 and 3/5 seconds. Qualia sets the pace here and leads by 3/4 of a length. Our Christie is running in second, and Funny Moon is on the outside in third. Spacey Tracy races in fourth. Sarah Louise now moves into fifth, still 5 lengths off the lead. Way with Words is now the trailer. The half in 46 and 3/5 seconds. Midway around the turn, Qualia by a head. Our Christie now draws right alongside. Funny Moon's on the outside. Spacey Tracy's going to need some racing room. And Sarah Louise is now just 3 lengths from the lead. 3/4 went in 1:10 and 4, and they're in the stretch. Qualia down at the rail. Our Christie in between horses. Funny Moon's on the outside. 3 of them across the track inside the 8th pole. And Spacey Tracy has running room now on the far outside. Here comes Spacey Tracy to take the lead and win the Top Flight handicap. Spacey Tracy over Our Christie and Qualia.
Spacey Tracy, a pretty interesting filly. She's now won 3 in a row in 5 of her last 6. She's won on dirt, she's won on turf, and she's won on the synthetic. She's kind of an interesting filly. She might be one to keep your eye on if they decide to keep her in New York over the course of the winter as she scores from off the pace. After having had a little bit of traffic trouble, she gets the job done by 3/4 of a length over Our Christie, also coming into this spot in very good form. Qualia completes the order of the top 3. A little disappointing in from the Breeders' Cup was Sarah Louise, who finished 5th in the field of 6, as disappointments abounded this weekend in New York for Breeders' Cup horses exiting the Breeders' Cup, who I think had probably run a little bit tough races in their most recent affairs and came back a little bit weakened by the prospect. Spacey Tracy is a bay mare, a daughter of Awesome Again from Tracy by Theatrical, bred in Kentucky by Mercedes Stable and owned by the breeder, trained by Anthony Dutrow and ridden to victory by Jeremy Rose. Spacey Tracy covers the mile in 135.28. We'll head into the Saturday card now in a 4-pack of stakes races, beginning with 2-year-old fillies in the Grade 2 Demoiselle.
And they're off. And it's Dixie City from that inside post, quickly establishing the lead. And her stablemate, Summer Laugh, now goes a little wide going into that turn. That floats Full Moon Blues out there. Down toward the inside, Tap for Luck. And the early trailer is Believe in AP. It's a tight pack that moves round the clubhouse turn here. And the leader is Dixie City, and her stablemate, Summer Laugh, is second. Full Moon Blues on the outside after a 24-1 opening quarter mile. And then Tap for Luck, well held there by David Cohen. And also under restraint is the trailer Believe in AP. Ramon Dominguez has her well in hand, 5 lengths from the leader. And the leader remains Dixie City. Moving up the backstretch run, Dixie City on top. Now Full Moon Blues is edged up to be second. The half mile goes in a reasonable 48 seconds flat. Dixie City on top. Now flanked by Full Moon Blues. And now Dominguez guides Believe in AP into the clear and on the outside. And now they're moving. Believe in AP now moves up to be third and gets within a length of the leader. And then it's the gray Tap for Luck and the trailer Summer Laugh around the far turn. Believe in AP making a sustained run toward the lead. Dixie City, though, holding it narrowly after 3/4 and 112 flat. And now Jose Lascano gives a bit more rain to Dixie City, and Dixie City's opening up. Dominguez imploring Believe in AP for more, but he doesn't have any. She has nothing left for that final furlong, and it's Dixie City who's opening up now by 5-6 lengths on Believe in AP. She made a big run on the far turn, but flattened it out late. And then Tap for Luck will be third as Dixie City does it in the Demoiselle. Believe in AP checks in second, a long way back to the third horse, Tap for Luck.
Dixie City went to the front, never looked back. In fact, I thought going in that her stablemate Summer Laugh might be the stronger of the two, but it was Dixie City who takes them from gate to wire. She got a stern test at the top of the stretch from Believe in AP, who was fourth in her Breeders' Cup race, the Juvenile Fillies, and a pretty nice performance. And she ranged up, looked like she was simply going to go by horses, but came up a little bit flat. Perhaps the short rest, only 3 weeks coming out of that Breeders' Cup, and a pretty hard-fought effort down in Kentucky last time out left her just a little bit short. Tap for Luck completes the order of the top three. Dixie City, off a third and attempted last time out, scores the victory. She is a 2-year-old bay daughter of Dixie Union from City Sister by Carson City, bred in Virginia by Edward P. Evans and owned by the breeder, trained by Anthony Dutrow and ridden a victory by Jose Lascano. Dixie City covers the 9 in 152.84. Next up, it's 2-year-olds in the Grade 2 Remsen at 9 furlongs.
And they're off. It's To Honor and Serve who gets out there first. To Honor and Serve out first. Mountain Town right there and tightens it up a bit on Buffum, who's down on the rail. Mucho Macho Man Bandbox is in between horses. And a little traffic there. Bandbox took a bad step. Got jostled about. No, and some traffic trouble for Buffum, too. A field of 5, and the two of them had real bad trouble around that first turn. 24 and 1 was the opening quarter mile. To Honor and Serve, a measured lead here. Johnny Velasquez got a good hold of To Honor and Serve. Mucho Macho Man trying to press for that pace on the outside. Buffum, who was steadied on the first turn, is now down toward the rail. And then it's Mountain Town in between horses. And on the outside, Bandbox, who also had real bad trouble on that first turn. He almost stumbled. So the field moving down the backstretch run. The half is up in 47 and 3/5 seconds. To Honor and Serve still in control. There's a half mile to go. He's in front 3/4 of a length now. Mucho Macho Man trying to stay with To Honor and Serve, who's still doing it willingly on the lead. Then Mountain Town is just outside of Buffum. Another 3 to Bandbox. They've run 3/4 and 1:11 flat. That's a solid 3/4 of a mile put on the board here by To Honor and Serve. So the odds-on favorite in front as the field turns for home here in the Remsen. Top of the stretch. To Honor and Serve, now been given his cue. Leads by 2 with 1 furlong to go. Mucho Macho Man on the outside's been second throughout. Mountain Town third, the others 2 far behind. Down to the final 6/8. It is To Honor and Serve. And Mucho Macho Man, To Honor and Serve. He's the real deal here. And won by a length and 3/4. Final time, 1 minute 50 seconds flat. Mucho Macho Man second throughout. Mountain Town third.
To Honor and Serve scores the victory in a race that really I want to say about 15 or so years ago, put itself on the map with a couple of very nice horses that came out of this to turn out to be nice 3-year-olds horses like Thunder Gulch and Go for Gin. A lot of horses in the meantime have done fairly well in this and looked like big prospects and haven't really gotten the job done, although Court Vision, who did run 4th on the turf this past weekend, also did win this race several years ago as well. But To Honor and Serve really looks like an interesting horse. He's now 3 for 4 lifetime, having been second in his debut up here at Saratoga to Astrology in a pretty hard-fought effort. He has since come back to score his maiden and then the Nashua, and now a fairly easy win with ears pricked as he crosses the finish line in the Remsen. Mucho Macho Man finishes in the second spot after having gotten off to a bit of a tangled start. Mountain Town completes the order of the top 3. In fact, these horses pretty much ran almost the exact same order around the racetrack every step of the way. which might indicate that it was a track that was favoring speed. It may have been a little bit kind to speed, as Dixie City proved as well in the previous race. But this is kind of an interesting horse, and his final time quite legitimate for a 2-year-old. The winner, To Honor and Serve, is a 2-year-old bay son of Bernardini from Pilfer by Deputy Minister. Bred in Kentucky by Twin Creeks Farm, Larry Beyer, and Rancho San Miguel, owned by the Live Oak Plantation of Mrs. Charlotte Weber, and trained by Bill Mott. Not a gentleman that you usually see with very sharp 2-year-olds, but I would imagine that his patience will prove him very successful with this horse over the wintertime. Ridden to victory by John Velasquez, who was involved in that spill on Go-Go Shoot and obviously came back just fine after having been bruised up a little bit that afternoon. To Honor and Serve covers the 9 furlongs, a very legitimate 150.03. Next up, it is 3-year-old fillies in the Grade 1 Gazelle.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Quiet Temper, there's Awesome Maria down on the rail. Between them, Belle of the Hall. So it's those three into the clubhouse turn together. Then Dubai Dancer, who's still on the outside 4th. Seeking the Title is angled over quickly to get to that inside position. Now raining along in 5th position. And then it's No Such Word. And Joni's Catch trails the field. Awesome Maria is the leader. Belle of the Hall to keep her company through a quarter and 24 3/5 seconds. Quiet Temper is 3 wide. No Such Word 4 wide, entering the backstretch run. Just in behind the first 4 at the back of the pack now. Joni's Catch seeking the Title and Dubai Dancer. Up the backstretch run. Awesome Maria still glued to her is Belle of the Hall. Quiet Temper right there. And 4 abreast on the backstretch with No Such Words farthest off the rail. The pace is a tepid 1:49 4/5 seconds was the opening half mile. Farther back in the field, seeking the Title, already under a ride. No response. Dubai Dancer's right alongside her. No response from Dubai Dancer yet, who is still about 6 lengths off the leaders. And then Joni's Catch is just starting to hit her best stride. There's 3 furlongs to go. They've run 3 quarters in 1:13 2. Approaching the top of the stretch. No Such Word and Awesome Maria. And now those two are head-to-head for the lead. Belle of the Hall is now back running in 3rd. Then farther back, Quiet Temper is tailed off in the 4th, seeking the Title. Then on the extreme outside is Joni's Catch. Far behind the rest of the field, Dubai Dancer. No Such Word with a furlong to go and a 2-length lead. No Such Word, then Awesome Maria seeking the Title in under the wire. No Such Word has won the Gazelle. Won it by almost 2.5 lengths over Awesome Maria. It was close for 3rd there between Joni's Catch and seeking the Title.
No Such Word, who I think it's fair to say had the most Grade 1 type experience in this field. She's now won 3 in a row out of the Remington Oaks and the Monmouth Oaks in her last 2. Prior to that, she had faced the likes of Blind Luck, Havre de Grace, and others in the leading edge of the 3-year-old filly division. She came up just a little short behind those fillies, but certainly a very nice effort here as she sits off the pace, winning off by almost 2.5 lengths over Awesome Maria, was seeking the Title, rallying into 3rd. The winner, No Such Word, is a 3-year-old bay filly, a daughter of Canadian Frontier from Muskoka Ice by its freezing, bred in Kentucky by Brereton Jones and owned by the breeder, trained by Cindy Jones, who I guess is going to be handing over the reins of this filly to her husband, Larry, who has decided to return to the races. He took a little bit of a hiatus, forced perhaps by maybe getting a little bit, things getting a little bit too big too quickly in his operation, but he stepped back a little bit, has been helping out Cindy over the course of this year, and Cindy has announced that she is going to retire. She's going to head to Kentucky and spend some time with her children and grandchildren. I certainly wish her all the best, as Larry Jones will now be taking over the training of this Grade 1 winner that Cindy Jones, she's going to be able to go out a winner with a Grade 1 win here as well, so it's certainly nice to see that. Very good family. Nice to have them around in racing, and certainly happy to have Larry Jones coming back on the training side. Ridden to victory by Terry Thompson, No Such Word covers the 9 in 151.05. We will round out the day on Saturday on the program this week with the Hill and Dale Cigar Mile at Aqueduct.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Good start for Musket Man. Jersey Town also off to a good beginning. Friend Foe forwardly placed. And then the gray Vineyard Haven is also right there. And so too Haynesfield. Crossing over onto the main track now, and 4 of them will be in the vanguard. Haynesfield's between horses. Vineyard Haven down inside. Now grabs a short lead. And then Jersey Town right up there running along in 3rd. Friend Foe is 4th. Girolamo is 5th. Soaring Empire 6th. Musket Man broke well, but he's now back in 7th. Right alongside is Bribon. Those two now about 8 lengths from the lead. And the trailer is Half Metal Jacket as Vineyard Haven takes the field down the backstretch run. Haynesfield allowed now to sit back in 2nd as Vineyard Haven takes the field through a quarter in 22 3/5 seconds and a half in 45 and 1. A strong pace here in the Cigar Mile. It's being set by Vineyard Haven. Haynesfield's now making a move at him right there on the outside 2nd. Jersey Town is now 3rd. Girolamo in the thick of it. He's right there in between horses. Girolamo right there running 4th. Friend Foe is 5th on the outside. Soaring Empire 6th on the rail, and he's only 3 lengths from the lead. And Brabon is only 3.5 from the lead with a quarter mile to go. At the back are Musket Man and Half Metal Jacket. They are at the top of the stretch. Wide open here. Haynesfield's got a short lead on the outside. Jersey Town in with an upset chance. Girolamo and Bribon. Bribon coming now 3rd on the outside. Then they're coming down to the finish. And it is Jersey Town. Haynesfield back at the rail. It's too close to call. Was it the huge long shot? Jersey Town? Or did Haynesfield come back right there at the end? Girolamo was 3rd in a thrilling renewal of the Cigar Mile.
Jersey Town scores the victory over Haynesfield in the shadow of the wire, and this was a very, very close one. In fact, from just past the wire, it certainly looked like Haynesfield had scored the victory, but it was in fact Jersey Town getting his head down at 34-1. Big price on this horse, who was a good second last time out in the Bold Ruler to Bribon, finishing in front of Half Metal Jacket, who was only 11-1 in this field. Haynesfield, of course, coming out of the Breeders' Cup Classic, and I have to say, I think he probably earned more respect from me with this performance than he did when he won the Jockey Club Gold Cup 2 races back, because horses exiting those Breeders' Cup races really were not exactly on fire this weekend, and Haynesfield, who was involved in that sharp pace in the Breeders' Cup Classic, backed out of it rather dramatically, but was very, very game in this spot. Indeed, Girolamo rallies into the 3rd spot in a reasonably good showing as well from him off of a Breeders' Cup performance as well. The winner, Jersey Town, is a 4-year-old chestnut son of Speightstown from Jersey Girl by Belong to Me. Bred in Kentucky by Charles Fipke and owned by the breeder, trained by Barclay Tagg and ridden to victory by Cornelio Velasquez. In fact, it was a Speightstown exacta paying $461. The following day at Aqueduct, there was another Speightstown exacta that returned over $600. So fans of the stallion Speightstown are certainly making money hand over fist as they wager on this stallion. And I'll tell you, they've stretched out a lot better than I might have ever thought as well, with Jersey Town and Haynesfield both handling the mile very capably here. Ridden to victory by Cornelio Velasquez, Jersey Town covers the mile in the Grade 1 Cigar Mile in 134.43. That'll round out a busy weekend of racing. Thanks for joining us here on Horses and Courses. We hope you'll be able to join us once again next week as we take a look at stakes from around the country. Until then, I'm Jean Wood. Have a great week at the races.